What makes you miss the biggest opportunity of your life? It's not a lack of intelligence. It's not a lack of luck. It's the lack of confidence. How many times have you stayed silent just because you were afraid of being judged? How many times have you let your dreams slip away simply because you didn't dare to take a single step forward? The truth is, so many people spend their whole lives that way, quiet, reserved, letting fear take the lead instead of trusting themselves. But sometimes, just one moment, one story can change everything. Today, I will tell you the journey of a young man who once believed he was born to fail, and from the very bottom of despair, he learned the lesson that transformed his life. Stay with me until the end, because this might just be the answer you've been searching for all along. Once upon a time, in a lively little town, there was a man named Thomas who made a living by selling salt to support his family. He had two sons. The older son, Michael, was shy, quiet, and always avoided social interaction. He would look down whenever he met strangers, and whenever he had to speak in front of a crowd, his hands and feet would tremble. On the other hand, his younger brother David was lively, smart, and always knew how to win people over. Over time, this contrast led to constant comparisons. Villagers thought Michael was slow, and some even called him stupid because he never stood up for himself. A few people took advantage of his honesty to tease or trick him, but he endured it all in silence, never once complaining. What made it worse was that Thomas, their father, often scolded Michael and expressed his disappointment. He didn't realize that every harsh word chipped away at the little confidence Michael had left. And from there, a chain of tragedies in his life began. As he grew older, Michael's shyness started to seriously affect his life. During school exams, he often knew the answers, but his hands shook so badly that he couldn't complete his papers. Fear caused his grades to drop lower and lower. When he became an adult, his father, Thomas, told him to stay home and help with the family business. Afraid of disappointing him, Michael nodded in agreement. But his anxiety never went away, it only grew stronger. Whenever he stood in front of customers, he stammered and couldn't look them in the eye. And when he got nervous, he made mistakes that messed everything up. This made Thomas furious, and his scolding cut even deeper into Michael's fragile self-esteem. Then one day, real disaster struck. While Thomas was away, a group of swindlers came to the shop. They pretended and said, "Your father sent us to take all the salt for the city." Michael hesitated, wanting to ask again, but fear gripped his throat. Before he could even process what was happening, all the goods were gone. That evening, when Thomas returned and saw the empty warehouse, he roared in fury, "You useless fool! You've destroyed everything I've worked so hard to build. Get out of my house and never come back again." Those cruel words struck him like a bolt of lightning. Michael felt as if the entire world had collapsed beneath his feet. Neighbors whispered and mocked him. His father turned his back on him, and he himself sank into despair. He was convinced that he had no value left. That dark night, Michael wandered to the riverbank. His heart was weighed down with shame and pain. The only thought echoing his mind was, "What's the point of living? I'll always be nothing but a failure." And just as he was about to throw himself into the cold water, a turning point appeared. Right at that moment, a hand suddenly grabbed his arm and pulled him back. It was an old man with white hair, gentle eyes, but a gaze that shone with determination. The old man quickly said, "Son, don't do this. Life is more precious than anything. Once it's gone, you'll never know how much you could have changed." In his despair, Michael burst into tears. "Why did you save me? My life is meaningless. Everything I do is wrong. My father hates me. The neighbors laugh at me. I don't deserve to live." The old man placed a hand on his shoulder, his voice calm but firm. "You're wrong. God gives us only one life. As long as you're breathing, you can fail, but you can also rise again and succeed. Only those who quit are the ones who truly lose." Michael shook his head, choking on his words. "But I'm too weak, too timid. I'm not good at studying. No one trusts me. I'm just useless." The old man's eyes suddenly turned serious. He said, "If you truly want to change, come with me. For the next 3 days, I will give you 3 tasks. If you complete them, You will discover your true self, a version of you that's far different from what you've believed all this time. Michael hesitated, still full of doubt. But in the middle of his darkness, the old man's words felt like a tiny spark of light. He gave a small nod, clinging to the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, his life could be different this time. On the first day, the old man told Michael, "Today, go talk to 10 strangers. That's all, just ask them about their lives and listen to their answers." Michael froze. He had never started a conversation with anyone before. His heart raced, his hands trembled, but at last he summoned the courage to step up to someone. At first, many people shook their heads or walked away. The shame made him want to quit, but remembering the old man's words, he kept trying. By the end of the day, Michael had spoken with 10 strangers, and to his surprise, a few of them even smiled and had a pleasant chat with him. A tiny spark flickered in his heart. Maybe he wasn't completely useless after all. On the second day, the old man gave him a new task. "Today, you will teach 10 children why water is important." Michael panicked. "But I'm not a teacher. I wasn't even good at school." The old man simply smiled. "They don't need a professor. They just need to hear what you already know." Trembling, Michael held a glass of water in front of the children. His voice was hesitant, but he still spoke. "Water helps us stay healthy. Water cools our bodies. Water helps plants grow." Little by little, his words began to flow more smoothly. And when he saw the children nodding and listening intently, Michael suddenly realized he had just done something he once thought was impossible. On the third day, the old man gave him the hardest challenge. "Go back and apologize to your father." Michael shook his head in fear. "No, my father will never forgive me. He already hates me." But the old man's tone grew firm. "If you don't face your greatest fear, you will never discover who you truly are." Michael stood at the door of his house, his heart pounding so fast it felt like it might explode. But this time, he didn't run away. He walked in, lowered his head, and said, "Father, I'm sorry. I've disappointed you. But I promise, I will change and prove that I'm not useless." Thomas stayed silent for a long time. In his stern eyes, he finally saw a strange determination in the son who once seemed so weak. He let out a long sigh, then slowly nodded, "I'll give you one more chance." And in that very moment, Michael realized for the first time in his life he had truly faced and defeated his fear. After 3 days of challenges, Michael returned to find the old man. His heart was filled with excitement and gratitude. "Sir," Michael said, "I've done everything you asked, but please tell me, what is the real secret of success?" The old man smiled, his eyes glowing warmly. "You've already discovered it yourself. Your greatest enemy isn't shyness, it's fear. When you let fear lead the way, you always see yourself as small and worthless. But when you act with confidence, the whole world will see you differently." Tears rolled down Michael's face. He finally understood that true strength didn't come from trying to be like someone else, but from believing himself. From that moment on, he was no longer the timid boy he used to be. Michael began challenging himself every single day, taking one step at a time to overcome fear, and with each step, his confidence grew stronger. A few years later, the boy who was once called useless had become a successful businessman, respected not only for his intelligence, but also for his confidence and courage. Michael's story leaves us with an important truth. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's a skill you build, challenge after challenge. Fear and doubt will always try to hold us back, but the moment we dare to take even a small step forward and face them, confidence begins to grow over time. The world doesn't see you as you are, it sees you the way you choose to present yourself. Michael once believed he was born to fail, but by facing his fear, he turned his entire life around. And if he could do it, so can you. So don't let fear control your life. Step out of your comfort zone, believe in yourself, and show the world the strong and powerful person you truly are. If you found this story inspiring, hit the like button, leave a comment, and share it so more people can receive this message. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring more life-changing journeys together.